Okay, this is gonna be great.
This is Nerd Dojo, where we talk about video games, computers, and the future of technology. Robots with crazy magic cards, and Doctor Who, and other things that are wicked cool.
Welcome back to Nerd Dojo. I'm Kyle Laganza.
I'm Alan Whitaker.
I'm Justin Kirkland.
And these are my two good friends, Henry Smola and Charlie Smola.
How are you?
Big Chuck.
Big Chuck.
So we're just doing couch talk. We're just hanging out, talking about a bunch of stuff. We've recently been just shooting the shit. These guys are home for the holidays, so we're just kind of talking about some stuff and talking about old video games. Just kind of how far back can you go where you're just like, I can't even tolerate this anymore, or like, you know, fucking, this isn't even fun for me. Like, how did I have a good time with this?
To the point where the nostalgia doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck this game.
I'm not doing it.
Yep.
No, never.
Well, why don't we start with you guys? What do you guys?
I think that there was definitely a much steeper difficulty to the older video games. Because I think nowadays most video games have gotten a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you couldn't pay me to like go back and play the original Mega Mans
Oh
for
yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just anguish
Contra.
as soon as you turn it on.
Rough.
Because my mentality is like, when you're younger, the hardest thing in your life is probably the video game you're playing.
Yeah.
And then when you get older,
That's a valid point.
there's a lot of other stuff in your life that's probably causing you a bit of stress.
Yeah.
So the little bit of time that you have off to yourself to enjoy a video game, the last thing you want to do is get stressed by the video game.
Yep.
So I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. Is like, have you played Bastion?
Bastion.
I have.
Have you?
I don't think
Yeah.
I played that.
On
Fan-
360?
Well, it's on. I played it for iPad.
Okay,
Is
I
it
had
an
an
iPad
360.
release?
Yeah.
And the thing that I really liked about that game is from the get-go, it gives you the option to turn off. It's basically like the equivalent of unlimited lives.
Right.
So
Okay.
So I like that because as someone who's, I would definitely consider myself to be a more casual gamer nowadays, it gives me the option to play the game and enjoy the game because it's an absolutely fantastic game. It's one of the best games that I've played in recent years, especially as an RPG. I mean, the soundtrack's phenomenal, the voiceover work is incredible, the graphics are great. But I think that if I had to like compete in the game and worry about dying and like having that level of like, I guess, accuracy, because it allowed me to play a little bit more casually.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I got more joy out of it that way than having to be like, oh, I died and having to go back or start over, like deal with that. So I like games that at least give me the option.
Yeah, that's always cool.
Yeah. One of the perfect examples of what you said, like how games are easier nowadays than before, is the new Super Mario 3D World.
Right.
Where, like, the old school Mario games, you had to play a level 100 times to memorize a level to be able to beat the level, like if you got stuck.
Right.
Definitely. Where the new level, I think it's the new world, like they have the cat suits and all that stuff. If you die, I think on a level 3 times in a row, right at the start of the level, they give you a white Tanuki suit, which is invincibility. And you can just walk through the level.
I thought you were gonna say the
And then
thing
if you
that
fall off
they
the
did-
maps, they just throw you back on the map.
That's
Really?
ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's a free pass.
I
So-
thought you were gonna say it was like the thing where they did the like the training thing where like Luigi would jump in for you and you could like do the level like with Luigi.
Yeah, they have that.
But like
Nope.
that's
This one they just
even
give you a
more
free pass.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
so is that by default or is that an option you have to turn on?
No, it's by default, and you
Really?
can't turn it off. I mean, you can choose
crazy.
not to take the suit,
Right.
but I mean, a 10-year-old kid or something is not gonna pass that up.
Well, yeah,
Right,
that's
that's the other
kind of
thing.
cool too because
like-
like then you don't have to like kill yourself to like be like fuck I can't beat
Right,
it.
exactly.
But like when we were younger, that's what we
That
had
was
to
like
do.
a bragging
like,
right. You're like, yeah, I
Yeah.
just beat World 9-9.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all
You're
by
looking for a
myself.
sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
nowadays
true.
kids are like, oh, I beat Mario in a day. I'm like,
Well,
oh,
good hooray for you.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, speaking of Mario, back when they released Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, which
So
is
good.
probably one of the best cartridges for the entire system.
What, it had
Is-
4 games on it?
Right, because it had 1, 2, and 3, but it had the Lost Levels.
Oh
which
yeah,
was,
Lost Levels.
which was really Super Mario 2 in Japan. But they didn't release it to the American gamers because it was too hard.
That makes
And
perfect
rightfully
sense.
so.
Makes perfect sense.
Because you're just losing it playing that game.
Yeah.
Because like the last castle has 2 Bowsers.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So you get by the first one, you're like, oh, I can't believe I just beat the lost levels. No, you didn't. Because there's
That's
another
so
one.
stupid.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely,
Well, I remember-
belligerently difficult.
I remember playing that at your house, and like the first time, I think the first and only time I ever played the Lost Levels was at your house. Was the fucking mushroom that just kills you,
Yeah, the poison.
or it
poison
makes you
mushroom.
small? Yeah, the poison mushroom.
Purple one.
Yeah, stupid.
Like for what reason?
Just throw a wrench in
and
the
then
gears on you.
wasn't there a thing too where like certain pipes you just die?
I'm sure there were.
Like that was how the
You know
fuck
how-
do you
That's
remember that?
absurd.
You know how there's like when you're playing a Mario game, there's just natural motion where you're like, I'm holding down B, I'm running, I know when I should jump to clear this.
Yeah.
And they would have invisible blocks right where your jump path was, and it'd be right over a pit. I mean, you're cruising, you're like, oh, I got this,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm dead. And they're just filled with them. I mean, I beat it. You know, I mean, back in the day,
Yeah.
when I was like, 13, 14 years old,
Yeah.
you know, you get home from junior high, you know,
And
start
you do
playing
that
Mario
all
All-Stars.
day.
Nowadays, no, absolutely not. I would not go back and play that.
Yeah, no. What about for you? What was a game that you can still go back and jam on?
Well, I can definitely go back to all the Smash Bros.
Yep.
Everyone respectively, you know, Pokemon,
Yeah.
all that. Just the
Yeah.
classics like Metroid Prime on GameCube.
Yep.
You know, it was
Super
just-
Metroid.
Yeah, all of them. They were done well enough in the time to just hold
That's
it.
true.
Yeah. I think I can hop back pretty much to any of the Pokemon games. Like,
Oh yeah.
just grab my Game Boy out and just start playing. They're still fun, even though I've done it a million times.
Well, that's like me and Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's
dude,
that's
I
one game I
remember-
cannot not.
I
go
remember
back
how
to.
you
It's such a solid
restart
game.
different save files.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like-
I mean, I beat that game. Like every couple years, I'll go back and replay it.
yeah.
And I just got the DS version because I bought the 3DS last week, and it's
Yeah.
got, you know, the extra dungeons and stuff. Which
Yeah.
for a veteran player of that specific game like me, I mean, that piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Of course, but that's the type of game where it was done so well, it
Yeah.
still stands the test of time. Because I mean, it came
Yeah.
out in '95.
Yep.
You know,
It's
so I
crazy.
mean, now 18 years later, to me, like if that game had come out today, it would have done just as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially with all this. The
That's one of those games, you know, like it's an RPG, it's classic.
Right.
It's basically like it's not like Pokemon, but it's like Pokemon in the sense that it's what it is, and it's easy to get into. It's fun, it sucks you in, you know, like
Oh yeah.
it's good gameplay.
You're always trying to make yourself better, improve
Yep.
your Pokemon or your characters that you're playing as.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's got New Game Plus, which a lot of RPGs implemented. Let you go back and play the game again, but keep all of your stats.
Oh yeah.
Bastion had that too.
Yep.
For me, I think any of the original Mario games, 1, 2, or 3,
Mhm.
were awesome. And then anything really Nintendo 64. I could play Star Fox, as annoying as it is. I could play Star Fox over and over again.
Dude.
Like,
I was like that with Pokemon Snap.
yeah.
Dude, that game was
For sure.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
can beat that game in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so fun though.
But the replay value is just key.
I remember when I played that, I rented it from Blockbuster,
Yeah.
and I beat it in 45 minutes, went back and was like, can I rent something else? I really feel like this wasn't worth it for me. Like, my $8 was not well
Come on,
spent
man.
here.
You gotta throw Pokeballs to make things happen.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Gyarados,
I guess.
So rewarding.
If you want to talk about games of just pure replay value and like games that stood the test of time, I think we were just talking about this the other
Yeah.
day. My go-to will always be Tony Hawk 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You play the shit out of that game.
Dude, I'll play the
like,
shit out
I
of
would
Tony
play-
Hawk Pro Skater 1 for
Yeah.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Still, dude. Yeah, I didn't have a PlayStation.
Take it where you can get it.
Yeah, you know?
At least play 2x on the Xbox. Of the graphics.
It would just loop the music, and it would only loop like 60 seconds of whatever the songs
Oh, yeah.
were.
Yeah,
There were
'cause
no
it was like-
no
cartridge.
lyrics.
Because it didn't have the full songs on the cartridge. I actually
Yeah.
I had the PC version, and the thing that was in some ways broken about the PC version is the fact that you can only hit buttons as fast as you can with a thumb.
Yeah.
But when you're playing it with the
Right.
keyboard, when you're in mid-air, you can just
Just
go
fucking
nuts on the keys.
Yeah.
You're doing like 100 tricks in one combo.
Yeah.
Upside down,
So
in every
ridiculous.
which direction, off everything, and I got more points in the PC version than I could ever feasibly get on a console.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
I
the
can see that.
PS1 version of it, or
Yeah.
2, or whatever one it came out on.
Yeah, it was on.
And
It was on the original
PS1.
PlayStation.
PS1, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you just play that first skate park level and just Goldfinger, just loop over and over
Yeah.
and over and over.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Good times.
Power Man 5000.
Oh, that was one of the best
The
tracks.
chorus to Guerrilla Radio.
Uh-huh.
Over and
Yep.
over.
Censored?
That's all you'd get. Yep.
Censored, yeah.
Censored Guerrilla Radio. What about you? What about
Oh, God.
classic game?
The Double Dragons games and all the old Ninja Turtle games. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
pretty much all the
Like
side-scrolling
those beat 'em
fighters.
up.
The side
Yeah,
scrolling
a
beat 'em
little bit
up
of lateral
games.
movement.
You
Yep.
got it.
So
Like,
good.
you
Like
can barely go
Golden
up and down a little bit, but just straight left and right stops you. You fight everyone, then it says go, and
Yeah.
you keep going.
God,
Any one of those games, so fun.
What was the one?
What was it?
it was a
two,
side
two crude
scroll-
dudes.
Was that it with the? You had guns too, right? Or maybe you didn't have guns. Maybe I'm thinking. Maybe your
Are you just
opponents
thinking
had
Contra?
guns. No, I'm not thinking of
For
Contra.
What system?
It was like it was 16-bit, so it had to be
Arcade?
like.
Are you
Had
thinking
to-
Streets of Rage?
Is it Streets of Rage?
Streets
of
It
Rage.
is Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
That's
Streets
what I'm
of Rage
thinking of.
2.
Where there
Yep.
was where your special would call in the cop car that shot
Yes!
the rockets.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, that was good times.
Oh god,
That was fun.
I could play all day just those side-scrolling fighters.
Yeah,
I love those.
Side-scrolling fighters is that was its heyday.
yeah.
Like, speaking of Double Dragon, you ever played Battletoads in
Oh,
Double
dude,
Dragon?
that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
limit of games I will not play because they're too hard.
You
Wait,
That game is
really?
Too hard.
Really?
It was really
I
difficult.
played-
No, don't
played
it was really difficult.
Don't get me wrong, that is an heinously difficult
I will
game.
play it, but I will get so mad I will quit. Like very
Yeah,
Playing
quickly.
Battletoads on multiplayer.
Yeah.
Where you just beat each other on
Yep.
accident.
Yep. Just the first level, Battletoads versus Double Dragon, is on the spaceship, right?
I think this is the second level.
It's one of the early ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
There's
early,
the
yeah.
balls that are going
Yeah.
like this.
No thanks.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about that game though was it implemented a lot of different gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
Because there was the one level where you got like the bikes and you were doing the hovercrafts,
Mhm.
and like if you beat up a robot, you could grab one of the legs and it was a weapon.
Right.
That's
that was
true. That was
at
cool.
that
That was
time
cool.
like that was like pretty cool because granted, yeah, I mean, like Streets of Rage, you were saying other games where like you could pick up items and like use them. But I think if you want to talk about side-scrolling beat 'em ups, my favorite of all time will be the Simpsons arcade game.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say
Oh, dude.
Simpsons and
Solid.
Yeah,
Turtles in
that was a
Time.
lot of fun.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time
Turtles
was
in
real
Time was really
good.
good too.
Oh, dude.
What was your favorite arcade
Shit.
like cabinet game to play?
Metal
Oh
Slug.
God.
Metal Slug.
Metal Slug all day.
I loved Gauntlet Legends, like the Gauntlet
I
games.
hated Gauntlet.
I loved
man.
Gauntlet.
I
I was-
stand it.
I was really into Rampage.
Yeah. Well, I mean
I
that's
didn't
an
like
awesome game
Rampage
to play.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't big on it.
That was the one with like the three different guys and you just beat up the buildings.
Yeah.
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 You definitely beat
Yeah.
off buildings.
I liked it.
I was really into it.
What else was there? It was fun.
X-Men.
Yep.
Oh, X-Men was
Really
good too.
Two-person
Yeah.
or the
Game.
six-person one. Yeah.
Any of the Time Crisis games?
That's
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I
Time
still
Crisis.
play.
My overall, like, go to the arcade. I'm looking for a House of the Dead machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are my
Did too.
favorites.
Anything,
House of the Dead
anything I
too,
can
'cause you
pick
have
up a
the pistol,
gun.
not the automatic. I
Yeah.
like the single shot.
Yeah.
Shoot off the screen to
Yeah,
reload.
anything I can pick up a gun and use, like that's fun.
The cinematics just
The
perfect.
Jurassic Park
And the House of
sit-down
the Dead
machine.
games.
Oh yeah.
I remember going to the arcade when I was like 9 or 10 with two rolls of like $5 in quarters, and I went and I beat the Die Hard arcade game.
Hell
like
yeah.
that was my mission for the day.
That's
Because
awesome.
they had the fighting sections, and then in between were like cutscenes, but you had to like duck or kick or jump.
Yeah, all the
Right.
quick time
And
then-
cutscenes.
right.
Yeah, the quick time, and if you didn't do it, then you had another fight, and if you did, then you skipped the level.
Yep.
Right.
I really liked. I remember I used to go to Papagino's all the time, and they had Street Fighter 2 at Papagino's, and I would just something about Street Fighter 2
Yeah.
stopped me from coming out on Christmas
Well, which
Eve.
version?
fucking
Because there's like 7
everything.
of them.
I don't
Like
know. It
Turbo.
wasn't Turbo. It was just
Alpha
fucking
Beta Psi.
just fucking Street Fighter 2. I don't know.
Street
But
Fighter
it-
2 Turbo Championship Edition.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was most likely.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was there, like that was so much fun. Like it would be like I would rush through eating pizza, and that's not something I do.
Right.
Like I like to take my time.
You're
with
trying to
pizza.
savor the flavor.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I would
Pepperoni,
rush through. I would
pepperoni.
rush through my pizza and be like, "Mom, can I have quarters to go play Street Fighter?" And like I just fucking play Street Fighter like crazy.
Dude, I remember there used to be a go-kart racetrack in Chicopee. and they had a Revolution X one, the Aerosmith
my
video game.
Oh God.
And me
I
and my
remember
friends
playing
were-
that for the PS1
Dude.
without a light gun.
Me
That
and my
was
friends
the
were
worst.
just like we were go karting, and then we're like, let's just play Revolution X and beat it. And we played for so long, and it was the worst game.
Ugh.
I remember back in like when I was really into like arcade games, they had the Dream Machine at the Eastfield Mall.
Oh, my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah.
So good.
I would go there and like
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll pour out a 40 for us at the Dream Machine.
Yeah.
But the thing that I loved about that place, because they went through a lot of revisions, obviously swapping out cabinets, but that's where I first played The Simpsons. Which, like you, I went with like $10 in quarters, and I was like, I will beat this game.
Yeah.
I played as Lisa because she had the
the
that
jump
thing?
rope?
Jump rope.
Yep.
And I remember I was like sweating by the end of it. I'm like 8 years old and just like ramming buttons for like hours on end. My parents did buy me a Happy Meal when I beat it though.
There
I
you
remember that.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, that was like my victory meal
That's so good.
because there was a McDonald's in Eastfield Mall.
Yes, there was.
But there was that
Still
and
is, isn't there?
Virtua Fighter 2.
Virtua Fighter,
Virtua
yeah.
Because-
Fighter was fun.
Because the thing that was crazy about that game was it wasn't a cabinet. It was the full like huge TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with like a podium and everything.
Right, and like that was like one of the first times like for people our age like we saw a screen that big.
Right.
Yep.
And I was like, and it has a video game on it.
Yep.
Let me just
Right.
dump all of my allowance
I'll
into
pay
this.
whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
take
I
my
thought.
money.
Yeah.
Just a slot for my wallet. Just
Yeah, can I just
Put it in
stick
there.
the whole thing in there?
When the Holyoke Mall arcade got a Marvel vs. Capcom 1 machine, but it was a huge screen with the podium. It was like an
Yeah.
event
Yeah.
playing it.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
yeah.
You guys remember Virtual On? It was the mech fighting game where you sat down and you had the two joysticks.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh.
game.
No.
That game was
I
rad.
look for that still. It's
Oh,
like
man.
$7,000.
Yep. Oh, my God.
But two joysticks, you push them aside to jump up, and you push them both forward to dash forward or dash back. And you,
Oh, I actually do remember
that
that.
game was awesome.
Sounds sweet.
So
It
it
was
was.
sick.
It was,
Sounds good.
it was really good.
Like
It
you
was
had
awesome.
you had boosters all over, so if you went like this, it would make your guy rotate left or rotate right.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that was one of the ones
yeah.
where the gun was like fixed to the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you couldn't move
It's
it
just
around.
The most, you
Which
could just.
Which is like pretty uncomfortable, but I mean,
Right.
like back in the day,
That was a
it's
huge
pretty
gun.
cool
It
to
was
use
awesome.
a gun, you know, in a
And
video
now,
game.
and now there's the new Terminator game.
oh yeah, and
it's
the
just
thing's like this
fucking.
long.
You got like a bazooka.
It has
like-
recoil. Like
Yeah.
there's like 6 buttons on it.
yeah. Yep.
I just remember playing that for so long, and the gun would keep vibrating because I would never let go of the trigger. And you're like,
Right.
ow.
Afterwards,
Just
you're like,
all right.
why do my hands feel like
So
this?
you can't even pick anything up.
Yep.
Uh,
What about you, Alan? What's your go-to?
My go-to classics that I can always keep playing would probably be River City Ransom
Mhm.
for Nintendo
Yeah.
and Dr. Mario.
Ooh, Dr. Mario's
I
a good
just
one.
played Dr. Mario
That's a
all
fun
day.
one.
Dr.
Yep.
Mario and Tetris, but Dr.
Yeah,
Mario.
I
Those are
love
classics.
Tetris.
Those are
Yeah.
classics.
Tetris is one of those games where I can just fucking do it day in, day out. And literally, I do it day in, day out because anytime I have to, like, move things and, like, make stuff fit in a place, I'm like fucking combo master. Like, how many tiny things can I squeeze into one place?
do you remember when you and me went up to my girlfriend's dad's place in Maine and we had Tetris on our like flip phones?
Oh,
And
yeah.
we played for hours.
Yeah. We were just laying in bed in the
It's like,
spare room. We're just like,
On your-
ah!
On your Nokia
Yeah.
with like a 1-inch screen.
I had a
No,
I had
what
a fucking Razor. I had a Motorola Razor.
What
Oh,
did I...
nice.
Was I playing on a Sidekick?
You might. I think you were
I
playing
think
on
I was
Sidekick.
playing on my Sidekick.
Probably.
Oh, good times.
Via hip top.
I remember
I
back
was via hip top.
back before God, the whole smartphone like revolution.
Yeah.
I had an Envy,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I had the Envy.
and I remember dropping like $9 in the Verizon store to get Street Fighter 2 for the Envy.
It was like
They
Yeah.
offered that?
Yeah, they did.
It was
the screen
it
was this
it was
big.
absolutely
like,
terrible. Like the frame rate was like at best 5, and
Yeah.
like there was no dedicated like up, down, left, right or buttons. So it's just like obviously like WSAD.
well, there
and
was the joystick, but it was on the or not joystick, but there was like the D-pad, if you will.
But it was on the
But it was on
wrong
the
side.
opposite side.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd have to like play like this if you wanted to like.
But
do
that's
it.
all you had back then.
Yeah.
Like, there was no app store.
You had
Yeah.
to love it.
But like in my mind, I was just like, I can take Street Fighter anywhere,
Yeah.
take my money.
Like, dude, think about how far technology has come. Like the things you can do on your phone.
It's terrifying.
Like, your
Oh,
phone
yeah.
has everything you could possibly ever want.
You can have You can play Final Fantasy VII on your iPhone right now.
Really?
Did they release that?
Wow.
Yep.
No
Well
kidding.
I
then.
knew they had Chrono Trigger on it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy it?
That's
Was it $15 probably?
That's probably like
really
15 or
expensive?
so.
It's
Yeah.
probably really
That's one of those
expensive.
things
That's
where,
all
like,
right. I'll do it.
Square Enix kind of hasn't gotten the whole App Store thing figured
No,
out yet.
not at all.
Because they're either way too much money, or it's like you buy the game and then realize there's a ton of in-app purchases you have to do to like
Yeah, what
get
was that?
any sort of
that
playability out of
newest
it.
one that came out that was all just based around taking your money.
All of them.
Well, true. Yeah.
All of them?
I forget what it is. It was like an original one they made, and then to fight bosses, you recruited people. So you would recruit a bard and this guy and a warrior, and then you would attack, and then you had to wait to attack again. So you had to wait like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, or you could purchase things to get your turn again, and then if that character
I
died,
hate that.
they were
Yeah.
dead forever, and you had to pay money to recruit more people.
Right.
Like it was a free game, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is cool," and then they're like, "Oh, this is just made to take money. That's all it is. It's just to take your money."
That's the thing now. Like they had an Xbox Live Arcade game, Happy Wars. Have
Yep.
you played that?
That doesn't sound good. I'm just gonna
To
throw
be
it out
honest,
there.
to be honest, it's,
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of a
played it.
cool like action fighting game. You know, you choose your class. There's like healers and warriors and stuff. But it's a free game. It's cool. When you win games, you get better weapons and stuff like that. But you're just constantly getting smashed on by people who paid $5 for this sword or whatever.
Right.
You know, to be good and competitive, you have to pay.
Yeah,
So
which
they
is
get you.
Fucking
That's
pay to
what
win
it is.
games. I
Yeah.
hate pay to win games.
Right.
Actually, I'll tell you who started doing
It's
that
rough.
and originally wasn't. Was you ever play games by Gameloft?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gameloft is the company that makes the game that looks and feels and sounds exactly like something you know, but they just like change the name.
Call of Battlefield and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like what's that game? That's the blatant Halo knockoff. There's like 3 of them now. Nova.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It was actually a fun game.
right. It was.
It was
But
good.
what I'm saying is like and it was actually pretty smart in the sense that these companies aren't making these games for iOS, so we're gonna make blatant knockoffs that are actually pretty good. And
Right.
back when
It's a smart idea.
Yeah, and like back when I got my very first iPod Touch, which was the 3rd gen, like pre-Retina and all that, and like I first started getting into the App Store. Don't get me wrong, they weren't cheap. They were like maybe like $5, but if you caught them on sale, you get them for 99 cents, and like they were actually good games. Like I played all the way through the first Nova. Like the controls were good, everything about it was good. I actually enjoyed them, but somewhere along the line, they started changing it to we're still going to charge you for the game, but we're going to add the in-app purchases.
Yeah.
And then they started going like free with in-app purchases, and now everything Gameloft does is like unless you throw an absolutely ridiculous amount of money at us, you're just going to come to a screeching halt in the game.
That's stupid.
Because like
Yeah.
I started playing Asphalt 8, which is like their version of Need for Speed.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, like the gameplay is great, the graphics are awesome, the tracks are good, like the controls are good. Like I actually love the game, but it's to the point now where like the amount of money you get per win is such a small fraction of the cost of like one car that you
Yeah.
would need to win the next like series of races.
That
Right.
sucks.
It's completely unnecessary.
Right.
It's like I would rather pay $10 up front and just have it be balanced.
yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Because they're well done games.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not discrediting the programming or the game. I'm just
Right.
discrediting the business model.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Well, that being said, are there any apps that you guys are stuck on right now that you think are like the best like game app or something like that? For me right now,
For
it's
games?
fucking Clumsy Ninja.
I don't even know
Like,
what that is.
It's ridiculous. Clumsy Ninja, basically what it is it's like one of those like free motion games where like you get a little ninja, you can throw them around and it's like
like Ragdoll.
ragdoll. So like you just train this little shitbag ninja who's just terrible at everything.
Yeah.
But you like get him on trampolines and like you throw him through basketball hoops to like try to make him like more like ninja-like, so he can go rescue his ninja girlfriend that got kidnapped by this
Not too good of a
samurai.
ninja, obviously.
No, he's terrible.
No, her. She got kidnapped.
Oh well, no, she was real good, but I guess not good enough. But I'm real into that game right now, and it's stupid. It's like the stupidest thing ever. But like I can play it over and over and over again, like for hours, and you just sit there,
Yeah.
mindless shit.
No, I don't play games on my phone.
Really? Like
No,
not
I'm just
at
kidding.
all?
I only play Doctor Who Legacy, and it's not even that good, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You've
the
both
one.
been playing that
Yeah.
like crazy, right?
It's just
Yeah.
Puzzles and Dragons with a Doctor Who skin.
Yep.
And then I've also been playing that mining game. I forget what the hell it's
Oh,
called.
Pocket Mine?
Pocket Mine.
Yeah, I started playing that too
It's
after I saw.
addicting.
Is it?
Yeah.
And you have a Android, so
Yep.
I'm down
It's
with that.
just-
It's the best.
It's just obnoxious because you only get a certain number of digs
Yeah, you get
Per,
like 5.
like-
Yeah. Per,
per like level.
10 minutes. Or
And then
something,
like once you're done, like you're dead, like how long does it take for you to revive?
like it's one charge or whatever is like every 5 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
So I
'Cause,
do a
like, I
bunch and then
remember-
I wait and then it's like, oh, they're ready, and I just do it again.
Yeah, because like I remember I showed somebody and then I took my phone out like 10 minutes later and it was like I showed somebody like the day before and then I took my phone out to like look through like the drop down menu for like all my notifications and it was like your lives are restored, come back and play. And I was like, wait a second, like now, like just now that happened.
Yeah.
Like, so I haven't played it really much since then, so I don't know like how long it takes. Hopefully
Right.
it's not like fucking a day. Like that's like Candy Crush. I can't get into that.
Oh, no.
People play fucking Candy Crush and I'm like, nope, stupid, not waiting to play a
I
game.
already did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nope,
Took my time.
I'm not
Done.
gonna do
There's
that.
actually that's another thing is like games that are just like they give you like a certain number of charges, and then like once you use all the charges, it's like wait 5 minutes or pay money. Because I'll tell you
Right.
one game that was like that I played for a while was CSR Racing.
Mhm.
Because what's the thing, like I game a lot on my iPad and also on my iPod Touch, and there's a huge disparity between the two. Like if there's a game that's on both, like depending on the type of game it is, like I'll either play it on one or the other.
Mhm.
So for like the iPod Touch, the game that had the charge mechanism, well, yeah, CSR Racing was one I played it on my iPad, and I thought it was a great game, like really simple, but I mean I got into it. The graphics were good, just drag racing, so it's sort of like mindless fun.
Yeah,
And I actually did buy some of the in-app purchases
yeah,
because I was just like, well, what's $5? I really want to upgrade my car.
yeah.
Right.
But then the other one was do you ever play for the original DS? It was called Zookeeper. It was basically
I don't think
it was basically Bejeweled, but it was with animals.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead of like matching up like sapphires, you're matching up like
Zebras.
zebras. Yeah.
Yep.
And they had it for iOS. So I was like, oh, I remember that game. I'll play it. It's gonna be better with touch controls. But it was one of those charge-based games. And so I would play it and like get a few rounds in, and then it'd be like, oh, please wait until your kids have kids, and then you can have played.
Yeah.
Play again. I was just like, how is this working out for anyone?
Yeah.
Those kind of games, they never made sense to me. So I'd be playing and then it'd be like, oh, now you have to wait to play. I'm like, well, then I'm not going to fucking play your game anymore. This is
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like I'll
Yeah,
just go
'cause
find
I'm
another
obviously-
game where I
I'm not
don't
gonna
have to
pay
go
for
wait
it.
to play.
Yeah.
There's never been a game that was charge based, like in that sense, that I enjoyed so much that when it said please wait, I didn't delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not worth it
Yep.
to me.
At that point, you don't even want to like the game.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Like that's the thing. Like I won't put up with bullshit with games.
Right.
It's like if it's stupid like that, like and they make you
Oh,
wait.
really? We played through Bulletstorm. So.
Well, no. Okay. I guess I will play bullshit games, but like I don't like to. Like if it gets too hard, it's not worth it anymore
No.
because you're not having fun. Like fucking Resident Evil 6, like how many times do we sit through like
This-
over and over and over? Like we just gotta get inside the church. That's all we gotta do. We just gotta stay alive for like 10 minutes.
Nope.
No.
And that is your night.
Yeah, and that was it. It's like, goddamn, it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah. That
How long does
one
10-minute
thing-
part take?
Yeah, right.
Well, like Resident Evil 5, I think it was. The worst part was, you're shooting people, running and gunning, you're doing really great. You turn out, you pull out your knife, and you suffer from paralysis in your legs.
Yeah.
You can't walk with a knife out in that
Oh
game.
yeah.
Yeah. For no reason.
I don't
You
know.
just automatically just get cemented to the ground.
Every
It's
other
like,
game,
why?
you pull your knife out and you run faster.
Yeah.
You
This
run
one's
it
like,
with
no.
a bazooka, you pull the knife out, you're glued.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I gave up on Resident Evil years ago.
See, I think those games are just so much fun. Like, there's
How?
not a because there's not a, okay. There
No.
aren't many games I would put up
Play
with
2 and 3,
bullshit
that's
for.
it. 1, 2, and 3.
That's it.
That's it.
I
Rest
played
of
Dude,
the-
one-
4 is
Four's the
great.
best.
No,
Four
the only-
is the best.
The only
That's what
one,
everyone
the
says.
only one I ever played.
were gonna say Code Veronica.
Code Veronica.
Yeah.
Because
Is that on Dreamcast?
on Dreamcast.
And that game
Yes.
fucked you up too. Uncle John bought that for you, didn't he?
I think you did.
Yeah.
It had the dolls. It was creepy.
Yeah.
I hate dolls.
Oh, yep.
There's nothing scarier than dolls and little girls and dolls of little girls. And that game had all of it. And so, like, I remember, like, I'd be playing, like, I'd be good. Like, there's blood and violence and gore. And I was like, I'm doing good. Like, I walked out of a door and I'm just staring at a doll and I'm just like, controller across the room. Like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the type of game, and I hate a game that'll do this to you, where if you get to a point, granted, I had never played a Resident Evil game before, so maybe I did it to myself.
Yeah.
But like, it got to the point where I'm here and need to go here, but there's a thing here, and I don't have the plants or the ammo to do it.
Right.
And so, like, I pumped so many hours into that game, and then it was just like,
I
Well,
literally can't do this.
I
Do you mean like you screwed yourself as in you didn't? Well, you obviously didn't
You didn't
know that
plan
obstacle was
ahead or-
coming.
well, yeah, but like, I didn't have the resources,
Right.
nor could I find and get resources to either get my health back up or get the ammunition I needed. So I played the game all the way through that point, and then there's literally nothing I could do. I had to quit the game.
See, that sucks.
Right.
And I was just
yeah,
like,
I've had that happen before.
and it's just
That's-
like,
yeah.
maybe I should have used more than one save file. I don't think that should be my fault.
That shouldn't have to be a strategy.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember playing Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, like when I was younger, like when they first would come out, and I'd have the game, and then I'd have a notepad right next to me, and I'd be drawing a map and be like, oh, there's a blue gem in this room, I can't get it now, but like, so I'd make a note for
Right.
later.
Yeah.
And then I'd
Yeah.
find things, and it would say like, oh, there's this inscription on the bottom, be like, oh, that's a code, yep, write that down.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
I remember I did that to myself with Eternal Darkness for GameCube. I got to this point where like you drop through the ceiling and there was a fence and you had to kill these two fucking skeletons that would throw like fire at you.
Sure.
And you only had like a sword or some ranged weapon and you had to wait till they got close enough so you could swing through there.
Mm-hmm.
But like the amount of health that I had when I dropped through the ceiling like was right after a save point, like right after I saved.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I dropped through the ceiling and they'd hit me with like 2 fireballs and I'd be dead.
Dead.
Right.
There was fucking nothing I could do. So I was like, great, okay, well now I have to restart, and I still haven't gotten very far in that game because I only pick it up every once in a while because it's fucking creepy.
Right. I remember our dad did the whole notebook thing back in, I want to say 94. He was playing.
Catacombs?
Yeah.
Catacombs?
You play old DOS games? Like way back in the day. There was this one game. It was by Gamer's Edge.
I think so.
It was called Catacomb 3D.
Catacomb 3D.
It was like a series of games in the Catacomb series, but my dad's a huge gamer. Like, loves games. Like, if he finds one he's really into, like the Wolfenstein series.
It's like his little project.
Yeah, he will
masters that shit.
find every secret in every level and kill every enemy, and like, I don't have the patience for it.
Like how it gives you a little summary of how you did at the end of a level or something. Like
Hundreds.
secrets in the percentage, enemies percentage. He just maxes that shit.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
he was playing Catacomb 3D like 15 years ago, however long ago that was,
So
and
good.
he had a notebook and the computer, and like every level he would just be like, on level 9 the warp in the southeast corner brings you to level 15, you know, there's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, it's just like one of those like old journals you would find, and it's just like, oh my god, what was he doing?
It's just like the ramblings of an insane person. Just like, what is he talking about?
It was once written.
Yeah.
It's like in the movie Seven where they find his office and it's just
Yeah.
notebooks.
Yeah.
It's like my dad just like going through
crazy
and just
notebooks.
like, it's like the green demons are in the secret door in the back of this level, and it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Like if anybody found that, they'd be like, "What the
In the
fuck?"
future's like, what is this? Is there fucking portals and shit?
Like, what was my dad into? But he actually beat the game,
Yeah.
as well he should.
Well, yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a game he didn't start and not finish, no matter how difficult it was.
Yeah.
But I remember he was so into that game specifically. That and Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Like, I even told him, I was like, Dad, you know they're making a new Wolfenstein game, and he was like, what's it coming out for? He goes, if I don't own the system it's for, I'm buying it just to play the new Wolfenstein.
That's awesome.
He's all about it. His favorite series.
There are definitely things in games that are awesome. Like I like puzzle stuff like that where you have to like take notes and like remember shit for later. Like stuff like that doesn't get me down. The number one thing that makes me fucking just rage quit a game is like when I can't find where I'm supposed to go next.
Oh, yeah.
Like where I'm like
Metroid
just like you're
Prime for
running
Game Boy.
around a room like, okay, what do I do? You go on like fucking the internet to like look through walkthroughs, and it's like, activate the switch in the bottom left corner of the room.
How the fuck would I have known this was there?
Yeah,
But no,
exactly.
but then there's some games where you go and you look, okay, where's the fucking switch? Where do I go? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
And you just can't fucking find it. Like, even somebody on the internet who's played the game probably like 5 times that tells you what to do, you still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, alright, this game's obviously not worth it.
This game's dumb. Stupid.
This
I quit.
game is
Yeah.
stupid.
I have no problem with games that tell me where to go. Put the arrow right dead center at the
Yeah.
top, and be like,
Right.
no, you're good. You know, turn yourself. Yeah, run that way.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that, you know, maybe it's because like I said I'm casual about it, but I mean I would rather have that than just be losing it trying to figure out where to go.
Been there.
Yeah.
Because there's been way
Yeah.
too many games like that.
Yeah,
It'll
because
ruin
like
the game for you.
Skyrim, like that game wouldn't have been as fun if I didn't know where to go when I needed to like do a quest.
Oh yeah.
Like that map was so big. Could you imagine just fucking running around trying to figure out? Okay, like,
Yep.
all right, go find the Goldar amulet. Like you're just like, all right,
That's all.
where's
it
that?
Where is it?
Where could that possibly be?
I'm with you
If I
so
didn't have an
far.
arrow, I'd
Yeah.
be shit out of
They
luck.
tell you what town it's in, but
Yeah.
it's not a town on the map. It's just a town between another town.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, huh.
Like, oh, okay, great. So now I have to just fucking follow every road around here until I
So you
stumble across.
you find
this.
one that has a sign on it that says the town, and you're like,
Till
oh,
I-
I go this way.
Till I
No
hear
idea how
till
far.
I hear the sound of somebody doing a drum roll on a floor tom and shaking a tambourine, and then I know I've found it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fucking craziness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not worth it.
No. But another cool thing that you can do when you get pissed about video games is you can just pick up tabletop games.
That's true.
Fact.
A lot of good tabletop games out there. Fucking Munchkin or Epic Spell Wars.
Yeah.
For
I haven't played that
Ascension.
so long.
Ascension. I haven't played Ascension yet. I'd like to.
That is my game. I
Yep.
love Ascension.
Like there's so many other things out there. You can play fucking Magic the Gathering. You can play fucking
Play Fireball Island.
what's Fireball Island?
You never played
I-
Fireball
I
Island?
remember
No.
Fireball
Fireball
Island.
Island's the best, and it's so
Really?
expensive to try and find now.
Really?
Pretty much,
I think it's in my parents' attic.
it's a volcano,
Really?
and then
It might
you
be.
play as like Indiana Jones characters, and it's like a big map where you're going around and up the volcano and stuff. And then I forget kind of how you play it. I haven't played it for like a couple years. But eventually, like what happens is you roll the dice, and if certain things happen, you hit the button, and the volcano explodes, and pretty much it's a ball that will roll down and knock you out. And if you get knocked out, you have to start all over.
Because
Oh,
the
God.
whole game board was 3-dimensional.
Yeah,
And so, like, whereas, like, you know, it still had the paths you would walk on, but there were multiple avenues up to this volcano in the center. Don't get me wrong, the board was huge.
yeah.
And there were, like, red rubber balls, and depending on where they fell from, off the top of the volcano, like, everywhere you walked was basically kind of designed as a ravine. So it would follow these trails around the board, and it would knock the players off of the board. Which was ingenious.
That sounds like an obnoxious video game tied into an obnoxious tabletop game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we play this?
We gotta find one.
It's somewhere.
We're gonna find it.
That sounds fun.
That and like you said, Ascension.
Yep.
Like I'm really into Ascension. A good friend of mine got me into it back when I was playing at Thou Shalt Game in California, and I've actually never played the actual physical card game version of it. I just have it for my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
But the iPad translation is brilliant. Like the functionality and like the mechanics, and like obviously, you know, it's much easier having to do all the math for you. But just the way like the controls operate and the touch controls and everything, like it's seamless.
Well, the game itself was who made it? It was like wasn't it Brian Kindler
Yeah.
who developed it?
Yeah,
And then
I don't know.
Tom was it Tom something?
I don't know who else was on the game, but I know
God, I can't
Brian
remember.
Kindler was one of the main designers.
I'm pretty sure the other designer was like that other Magic Pro Tour guy who's like Dad of the Year Magic Pro Tour guy who like brings his family everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but yeah, like you can't go wrong like playing a game designed by people like that.
And it has all the expansions as DLC,
Yep.
and honestly, it's not that much. I mean, like it's the full expansion. And I think it's maybe $2.99.
Well, I mean, even if you buy the physical one, like I think the physical game, like the box is like $20, and then I think all the card expansions for it after that are like $10 or $12, which I mean isn't bad for like physical stuff because what did you get that has like expansions or no you
Cards Against
Against Humanity and
Yeah.
you bought the expansions for that
Yeah.
like
Those were $10 for the expansions a piece, and
Which
the
isn't-
game was like 25.
yeah, which isn't
Not
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I played the shit out of it.
Yep.
I like Ascension because like obviously it's if someone plays Magic and also plays Ascension, you can find the parallels in the sense of like there's different colored cards and each one kind of has certain things that it leans toward and what its abilities are. But the thing that I like about it as compared to Magic is that you both start with the same X amount of cards and you build your deck as the game goes
Oh, so it's not
from
just
the cards in the middle. So
Okay.
so that's I like that because it's very quick to like pick up and go rather than like I'm going to invest all this time and money into building a deck that's don't get me wrong, Magic is definitely more personal in that sense because like this deck, like this is me, whereas like and you pick what colors to play, whereas in Ascension it's kind of like you have to go by what's on the board and feel it out. But I mean, I know that there's certain colors that I gravitate toward,
yeah,
you know, in Ascension.
because they have like different abilities
Right.
that you like. Yeah, I know.
I just like it because it keeps it even.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like going to F&M and you know you just get your ass handed to you.
You
Whereas
just
this is
you
like,
get that deck that you work really hard on and you try to like you're like this is perfect, this is exactly what I need to do to win, like I've got like my win conditions are clear, my mana's perfect.
Yep.
Fucking and then you just go and you get stomped.
you just go 0-6.
Yep, and that's just
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Like, what went wrong?
Yeah.
I had it all figured out.
That's what I like. I felt that way. I fucking played Black Red Vampires at FNM one time. Was like, this is gonna be perfect. Nobody's gonna see this coming because nobody.
No one plays
who's
Vampire
playing
Tribal.
Who's playing Vampire? Not in like standard like a year ago. Nobody wanted to do that like for real.
When Innistrad first came out?
Well, yeah, but I was like, I'm talking about like before Innistrad rotation, like right when like Ravnica like
yeah,
hit, like. People weren't still really trying to do that. Like, I was trying to push tribal decks real hard. Like, I was trying to make werewolves happen. Like,
All those flip cards.
but I got fucking destroyed by, like, just centaur tokens. Like,
What a way to get destroyed.
it was bad. And, like, it was, like, my first FNM I ever played. I completely forgot I had a sideboard that could have handled that. Like, I could have used Sever the Bloodline and just fucking helped myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And then the dude who beat me round 1 was the dad of the 11-year-old kid that beat me in the 4th round.
Absolutely.
Like, and I just got shut out. But that, like, for an 11-year-old, like, this kid, like, knew what he was doing. Like, really knew what he was doing.
Well, that's like how old we were when we started.
Yeah, but
But I
like,
didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, I
Exactly.
didn't know what I was doing.
This kid was like intricate. Like
Yeah.
he was playing shit like had moves like that I didn't even know were coming. And then like next thing I know, he's like, "Oh, I swing at you for 16." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Cuz of this and I have 12 creatures in my graveyard." And I'm like, "Okay."
Like, I guess.
All right. And that's the game. All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks for playing.
I didn't come in last place though.
Well, that's good.
I came in 20th out of 21.
There you
So-
go.
Nice.
There you
So-
go.
Nice.
It could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been way worse.
Could've been
Yep.
worse.
Way worse.
I think that's the hardest I ever got beat. Like, I've had some pretty even matches.
Oh, I've had some good ones too. But I mean, I think it's not. There's one thing to be like, to just get your ass handed to you, and there's another to think that you have the game in the bag, only to be proven completely wrong, and then lose.
49 damage. Fog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's literally what happened to me because I was playing back when Zendikar was legal
Yeah.
and the new Mirrodin block was legal.
Yep.
I was running Valakut because I'm by default a red player. Like I
Yeah.
love playing red, and that's like
Just play it fast and
Yeah,
loose, man. Just
Val-
fast and loose.
Because Valakut's that weird combination where everything's green, but I'm gonna kill you with
With
mountains.
red, yeah.
Right.
So I was playing that, and I have, I mean, the landfalls alone, I've got like Avengers of Zendikar out. They're just pumping out Saproling tokens. My Titans are hitting, just lands on lands on lands. Like the next thing I know, I have this army of Avengers of Zendikar, and they're all at least like 7-7, if not like 9-9, like somewhere in there. And I was so just like, I guess, drunk on power that I was just
got it.
I was like, there is no conceivable way this can't work. So in my head I'm just like, why would I leave anyone open to block next turn? There's not gonna be a next turn. So I just want to hit him with as much damage as possible. So he's watching me, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I tap Primeval Titans and Inferno Titans, and the lands are coming in, they're just getting bigger, and I swing with every single Saproling token I have.
Yeah.
And I'm there, I'm like, I have my calculator out. And he's just letting it happen.
You're in the triple digits at this point.
He's just looking at his card and he's sitting there. Yeah, I did the math. It was at a minimum 140 damage, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's enough to kill the table you're playing on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everyone in the room would have been dead.
Yeah.
And I finally give him the number. I was just like 140 damage. He goes, Fog? I was astounded. Like I was like, who mainboards Fog?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he was just like, well, I do for shit like this. I was like,
Ugh.
so I was like, so nothing? Nothing. He's like, yeah, so, pass turn? I was like, yeah. He like swings with one guy. I have no response. There's like 20 creatures on the board and they're all just like tapped out.
Oh, the worst.
I couldn't believe it. The only other time I got beat that hard was by white-blue Planeswalker control in Anaheim at WizCon.
Whoa.
Because
What was this?
I hate white-blue control enough.
Or not Tristani. Are you playing against like Tamiyo?
No, this was back in the same block.
Oh, okay, back then. Okay.
So he's running Elspeth, Venser.
Oh, yep. Have fun.
Who is that?
I'll start
Gideon?
bouncing all your permanents.
Yeah,
and just
Gideon.
destroying everything.
He's running
Yep.
Gideon.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I remember So I mean, I stand no chance.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, because you can't swing anything because Gideon just blocks basically everything.
What was Venser's ultimate?
It was just start destroying. It was just destroying permanents. Like
Right. Yeah. He ultimates Venser, and I go, oh, at least Venser's off the board. Plays another Venser. So the ultimate is there, but now he has another Venser, and I was just like,
well,
I'm
good
done.
game. Thank you.
What about you? You got any good beats?
Good beats. I mean, I've had my ass kicked so many times. It's hard to have
Yeah,
one
it's-
stand out.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track.
This is going to be a quick story off topic. I was playing a Pokemon tournament. And even if you've never played the Pokemon...
That's valid.
You don't even have to
Which is-
have played the Pokemon trading card game to see just the disdain I felt in that moment. Okay, so I was playing the tournament. I was about to place first. I was playing a Tyranitar deck, fighting Darkness. Really great. So, in Pokemon, if you've got one guy out and that guy dies, if you have no other guys from your bench to put out, you lose.
Right.
Or the regular way you lose is 6 of your guys die and they draw all their prizes. I only had one basic. I threw it out. He had one basic. It was a Giovanni's Magikarp. So the thing about Giovanni's Magikarp, this is the guy I had to beat to win the entire tournament.
Okay.
And he just puts up or shuts up with his Magikarp.
Yeah.
So he goes, attaches 1 energy on him, and Giovanni's Magikarp has a special ability where he has an attack for 1 energy to flip a coin. If heads, it does 40 damage.
Oh, automatically it's
Yeah.
not in your favor.
Which
'cause
is
it's a coin
unheard
flip.
of.
It's
for one-
50-50.
Well, yeah, but it's just not going to happen.
It's even worse than 50-50 because you get heads 40 damage. Tails, the Magikarp just kills itself.
Okay.
So,
This is a useless card.
so
Well, a useless Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not a useless card.
well, useless unless he gets heads, kills my 1 basic, and just absolutely takes me out of the top spot with a Magikarp.
Well, my
and
only-
a coin flip.
Keep in mind, my only exposure to Magikarp is it's the Pokeball you don't want to get in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Sure.
just
Yeah.
flapping on
flop-
the ground and
floppy
not doing
fish.
anything.
doesn't help you at all.
That one, in this moment, actually just ended up slapping me in the taint off of my top spot.
Yeah.
I'm wrecking people with Tyranitars and just going in with Darkness Energies plus damage, and then 1 flip of a coin with a Magikarp just took me out of the winning tournament spot.
How old were you when you were playing this?
I must have been
This was last week.
last week, 2 weeks ago. No, I had to have been 12 maybe. 12?
Yeah, 12. That's a tough loss.
It was a tough loss.
That's a tough loss. At
I
12.
rethought my entire life up to that point.
What am I doing?
What could I have done differently?
What could I have done differently?
It was rough.
All right. So, what about you? Any Magic wins or losses that are out of control?
Extreme situations, absolutely. I'm playing an FNM, blue artifacts, a lot of cloning, a lot of Phyrexian metamorphs going on. It's pretty late in the game. He's got some advantage on me on the board, but then he just puts it over the top. Aeon's Torn, Emrakul comes out. He just hard taps for it, 15. And so he gets his extra turn. He gets all that.
Game's pretty much over at this point.
Pretty much. He's just building up his for sure win turn later on because he's so confident. I end up, I don't know if I top decked it or not, but I had a Phantasmal Image in my hand. So I tapped 2, and I pretty much blue Doombladed him.
Right.
Yeah.
His 2 legendaries that had to both be sacked.
Yeah.
Since I cast it, and it was Emrakul, I got the extra turn. I ended up coming back and killing him.
That's awesome.
This begs the question, though, because I just thought of this. Wouldn't he also get his extra turn?
He did.
And it didn't matter?
It didn't matter.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just no coming back at that point.
Because the thing is, even if he was able to annihilate, like, my board or whatever, it just takes 2 mana.
Right.
And I was able to build off the extra turn on that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's the way to do it.
extraordinary wins losses for us is basically
Every night.
every
play
time we play
EDH.
with John.
Yeah.
And our friend John he just likes to sit back. He just likes to relax. Just have a good time.
Have 30 cards in the battle.
And next thing you know, he's got 30 creatures, and they're all doing special things. And then we're just like, all right, so let's see. I think we have to wipe the board at this point to make anything happen. And he's just like, nope, Draining Welk. Deadeye Navigator, Draining Welk, over and over again.
It's like, I don't know what's going on half the time
No,
because he's
you don't
taking a
even-
half hour per
you
turn.
don't even know,
Oh, yeah.
and then you can't. Then he's countering things over and over again, and you're like, all right, well then if I can't do that, you still have open mana because we played for 30 turns.
Right.
So you're like, okay, so I'll just go ahead, I'll play this and I'll kill it. Okay, I'll bounce it with the Deadeye Navigator, I'll kill that too.
Right.
It's like,
Thanks, Sean.
Like, that's
all right, well I guess the game's over. Cool.
one of the things where it's like, don't get me wrong, like, we've all collectively been playing Magic for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I know a lot about a lot of cards.
Yeah.
But there reaches a point where there's certain people you play against, and you're just like, you know what? I believe you.
Yeah. It's just like, what's that now?
Because the amount of time it would take for them to explain what the hell is going on, it'd be tomorrow.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, this card does this, and this does this, and this combo's like this. I'm just like, you know, I believe you. You have
Yeah.
the mana in the cards. I'm not even going to question it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just Triskelion, Macaeus, Teferi, you can't do anything.
That's why
Game's
I like.
over.
That's why I like standard, because there's only a certain pool of cards you have to know.
Yeah.
You know, anything beyond that, it's like you have to have such a vast knowledge of every single card.
I just wish Standard was as much fun as it used to be.
I think it still is.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't played Standard in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's my preferred format. That and booster drafts.
I want to get better at drafting.
Drafting
I'm
is so
horrible
fun.
at it.
I'm actually pretty good at it. I've won a
I have
few.
hair on my tongue. I'm not even going to try to pretend like I don't. Yep. Well.
Whatever happened to that tournament we were going to do, the 3-man draft?
Oh yeah, that was cool. Weekend after my birthday. Yep. Just,
Never did it.
Yep.
That would have been fun.
Yep. Yep. People just decided they didn't want to do it. So
We should have done one.
Yeah.
Over
Next time.
here.
Next
Next time.
next time
It'll be
we're
fun.
gonna do a big time Magic.
Just a solid
Hang
Ice
out.
Age draft.
Perfect. I'm in.
Oh my god.
We'll just do something really ridiculous. We'll spend $10 per booster.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're doing a Modern Masters draft.
We'll just do Modern Masters draft. That's probably a lot of
Just
fun.
do a
probably a lot of money.
Fallen Empires and Homelands draft.
Oh god, and just fucking hate our lives.
Yeah.
Ugh.
By the way, did you see Channel Fireball's doing sale for old fat packs? Every pack.
Really?
Older fat packs, like Champions and all that, are on sale.
My hand those over. Sorry.
Only about $10 cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, so you're getting like Champions for like $60 for a fat pack.
Not bad.
That's a bummer.
Not bad, but still funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want
But,
it, you get it.
Before we peace out of here, you want to do an update real quick on Hex? Have you jumped onto that at all?
I recently updated it. I haven't played a game yet, but I kind of stopped playing it because every single game would freeze in the middle of it.
That's too bad.
That's a bummer because that seemed
But-
like it would be a lot of fun too.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, still, I would still play, and it would still probably 8 out of 9 games would freeze like at some point. But I feel like it was also freezing because I was playing decks where it was just like clone, and I'd have like 20 cards in the game, and then they'd just be like, oh, extinction. And then the game has to process every card dying, and then everything that's bouncing off of every card dying, and then I'd be like, well, I have 30 cards on the deck, you just like killed them all. This is going to take a while. And then it would go through and calculate everything, and then it would just sit there at the calculating screen and be like, yep, it's frozen. Good game.
Awesome. That sucks.
Hex is no longer responding.
Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, I think that about sums it up for Couch Talk. We talked about a lot of stuff on the couch, which is what we like to do.
And the chairs.
And the chairs. Couches and the chairs.
The disc
couch
chair.
and chair.
Yeah,
talk.
couch and chair talk.
Furniture talk.
Furniture
Talk.
Next time on Furniture Talk, we're going to talk about coffee tables.
Coffee table.
What kind of coffee table do you like? I just got a new one.
It's really swanky.
Do you like a coffee table on wheels? Do you like a coffee table that doesn't move? What do you like for coffee tables? Let us know in the comments section down below.
The coffee table
Don't forget to
section.
like and subscribe in the coffee table section. Tell us what you think of the video. Definitely subscribe to the channel and click like on all the other videos if you like them. Even if you don't like them, click the like button.
Or dislike. Oh.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, or dislike it, whatever.
Any publicity is good
just
publicity.
do something. Just do something. Also, give us topics, stuff to talk about, because the well's running dry.
We're in a dry spell.
We're in a dry spell. But anyway, we'll
This is a shit card.
Yep. But anyway, we got more stuff coming up for you soon. We're going to talk about DayZ because Justin's got the new alpha for DayZ. We'll give you an update on Hex if Alan starts playing some more stuff. We'll see.
Let's me play.
And I'm actually planning to do a Magic video too. Also, we're going to be launching another series of videos that Justin's going to be heading up called Casual Encounters with Justin, where he's going to be just reading casual encounters from Craigslist.
Yep.
And kind of just acting them out for you.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be.
I've done it before, not on video.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for all the stuff that's coming up. I'm Kyle Ganza.
I'm Alan Whitaker.
I'm Justin Kirkland.
I'm Henry Smola.
Charlie Smola.
Thanks for watching Nerd Dojo. We had a good time. Hope you did too.
Okay.
All right. Oh, God.
Next time on Furniture Talk.